We have a real concern that without significant countermeasures, we could be facing another period of exponential growth as we enter the new year. That would mean many more people catching COVID, and even without this new strain causing more severe illness, that would result in many more people needing hospital and intensive care treatment, and that would put an enormous strain on the NHS, and of course it would also lead to much more loss of life. To be blunt, Presiding Officer, that is what we have to act now to stop. Now, in an ideal world, it would be good to wait a few weeks until preliminary analysis becomes more concrete and confidence intervals narrow. But if the concerns we have now prove to be well-founded, it would by then be too late. We have learned that we must act firmly in the face of this virus. And that is why we announced significant additional measures on Saturday. I know how tough these are, but we believe they are essential to avoid an extremely serious deterioration in the situation as we move into the new year. Let me recap now on what those measures are. Firstly, Orkney, Shetland, the Western Isles and the other relatively remote islands that have seen restrictions relaxed in recent weeks will move to level 3 from 1 minute past midnight on Boxing Day. However, the rest of Scotland will move at that point to level 4 for a period of 3 weeks. There will be a review after 2 weeks. This means, for example, that hospitality will require to close with the exception of takeaway services, and so too will non-essential retail. Now, there are 3 further points that I think it is important for me to make today about level 4 restrictions. Firstly, given the severity of the situation we face and the need to limit interactions as much as possible, we intend to define essential retail more narrowly than we have done recently. In short, that means homeware stores and garden centres will be classed as non-essential and will therefore require to close with the exception of click and collect. Second, in level 3 and level 4, the law currently prohibits non-essential travel outside your own local authority area. However, for those living in level 4 areas, which from Saturday will be the vast majority of us, our strong advice is to stay as local as possible and to stay at home as much as possible. And we will be considering in the days ahead whether we need to place that advice in law. And third, and more generally, as more evidence of the impact of this new strain becomes available, we will consider whether there is a need to strengthen level 4 restrictions any further. Again, I need to be blunt with Parliament and the public. The current level 4 restrictions are not as stringent as the March lockdown, and that up until now has been a good thing. However, it does seem that we may be facing a virus that spreads much faster now than in March. So we do need to consider whether the current level 4 restrictions will be sufficient to suppress it in the weeks ahead. This will be analysis that the Government undertakes urgently as our understanding of the new strain of the virus develops, and I will of course keep Parliament updated as necessary, including over the recess period if that is necessary.